Hello and welcome everybody to the Gold and Silver Club weekly commodities review for the 26th of June 2015, presented by myself, Phil Carr, at the Gold and Silver Club. Today we will be reviewing the latest developments in the commodities markets. We'll be analysing the week's performance. The live session will be including an overview of the commodity markets this week. We'll be reviewing the top trades of the week. We'll cover live market commentary and technical analysis, and of course we'll be answering any questions you may have as well. So first of all, before we get started, let me just introduce you to the Gold and Silver Club. The Gold and Silver Club is an international commodities trading, research and advisory group specializing in the precious metals, the energies and the agricultural markets. We are recognized as the leading go-to authority on commodities. And as internationally respected experts, our analysis and opinions on the metals, the energies, agricultural markets, they're routinely sought by major financial television channels and publications, including Bloomberg, Reuters, CNN, Global Banking and Finance Review, and the Wall Street Journal, to name a few. Our team of experts has advised and taught technical analysis, fundamental research and portfolio management to more than 50,000 private and institutional clients worldwide. So for further information on the Gold and Silver Club and our expertise, please do come and visit us at www.thegoldandsilverclub.com. So that's just a bit of background on ourselves. We're moving over and just have a look at the price of gold currently. We're currently trading at $1,173 US per ounce on gold. So we'll take a look at that on the charts very shortly. We'll have a look at the technicals. Before we do so, we'll review the top trades of the week utilizing the Gold and Silver Club signature trading strategies. So those are as follows. So first of all, we had a nice breakout trade just earlier on in the week on both Brent and WTI crude oil actually, but the Brent trade delivered slightly more. We had a nice 120-point breakout back towards the upper end of the trend channel just earlier on this week, which was a nice quick day trade. We also saw a really solid breakout on the USDA reports just yesterday on soybeans for 130 points on a breakout, and we've also had another continuation and a sell-off on Palladium for over 180 points return. So those are just a few of the top trades that we've been taking over this week. So what I'll do now, I'll move over to the technicals here. We'll just take a look at the charts and how they're lining up as we come into the US session just this afternoon. So the first market we'll have a look at here, we'll actually start off with silver. We'll move over to the other metals as well. Some very interesting developments here on silver in particular. You will note that we're on the silver chart at the moment. We got a breakdown just earlier on this morning during the European session, and you can see where we've come down to a major support zone, which we look like we're getting a capitulation at the moment. So capitulation is where you get a sudden, very large, especially if you've been selling off so strongly within the last, let's say, about 4 to 5 weeks here on silver. We've come down and we've hit a major support zone where we've obviously seen a lot of buyers come into the market here. This was previous very strong support zone going back to November last year. We saw this get supported at the end of December, again in March, and also at the beginning of May. So this is a very key support zone for silver, where often you'll see a lot of traders actually getting in on blind entries and limit orders at these levels. And what that means is that you'll get automated trades which will get triggered. And this is what can cause a capitulation, where you have a sudden huge surge to the upside after the market has been breaking down. So we saw silver breaking down just earlier on this morning. Looks like it's capitulating at the moment from a major support zone, and this will be very interesting to watch as we go into next week, both fundamentally and also technically as we move into July, especially with the Greek situation at the Greece situation at the moment, which can possibly give us further support for the metals as we go into next week here. So silver looking very interesting at this event area. Going to be watching that very closely today. We've got a similar situation which is also occurring just on gold at the moment. We've come back down to a major support zone. Gold's actually holding up slightly higher here than silver currently. We've got a trend line just going back to mid-March, which is providing some support. We're just consolidating around that trend line at the moment, just around the 1175 zone. There is potential as well for gold to get supported at these levels, and potentially rally as we go into next week. We are at a key support zone where if we do break down, and particularly if we break through the June lows here, which would take us down to the lows of 1162, if we break through that major support zone, we may see a flush out and a breakdown further down to around the 1150, 1140 zone before we see a capitulation, which we've seen also on silver. So gold, just going to continue to monitor this. We had a little bit of a surge earlier on this morning, and it's just a former doji at the moment. So it's early days yet as we go into the US session, but watching this very eagerly as we go into the afternoon session today. We'll move over and just have a look at the other precious metals. So you'll note platinum also has had quite a good run over the last 3 or 4 days here. It's been a very strong downward trending channel throughout the end of May and also going into most of June here. You can see where we've come up towards the upper end of this resistance channel, which potentially, if we can form some sort of, you can see at the moment a hammer developing just around this trend line. If we form some sort of consolidation at this zone, we could get a breakout trade as we go into next week. So we'll continue to monitor that on platinum, but overall so far silver and platinum looking quite strong into Friday open here, the US Open. If we have a look at the overall structure of Palladium, you can see we had another breakdown yesterday. So far today, just forming quite small volumes at the moment. Little doji, just a small little hammer just forming on the daily chart right now. Now, Palladium has broken down significantly. It is actually testing a major Fibonacci zone just at the moment here as well. So we'll continue to monitor this as we go into next week as well to see if we get some sort of support around these key levels and whether we potentially rally as we come into July or whether we'll just get a continuation. We are quite overextended at the moment on Palladium. You can see the overall breakdown that we've had over the last 2 or 3 weeks here. It's not really had any sort of let up here. It's just continued to break down, which is quite rare actually for any market to just consecutively close lower every single day like this. It's getting quite overextended. So I think we are getting to a point here where we may see some sort of profit taking or a lift to the upside in Palladium as we come into next week. And also, we'll just move over to the copper market. Copper, we also had a capitulation just last Friday where we broke down, and then we had a major support zone, which was also providing support going back to the end of March. We saw this big hammer and dragonfly doji just develop on the daily chart. We're continuing to consolidate, but we're retesting the upper end of this trend channel at the moment for copper, where we could see further breakouts as we go into next week. So all the metals looking quite interesting right now as we coming into July next week. And no, often you can see trend changes where you do see this occurrence can often occur when you go into a new month. So from moving from June following through to July is a time where you can anticipate a potential change in trend. So we're going to be following that very closely as we go into next week. Now, oil is also one to watch today. You've got quite interesting price structure on both Brent and also last week crude oil. Brent at the moment, we are following a very clear supportive channel which has been in place all the way back to the beginning of January. You can see where we're having another retest of the lower end of this trend channel. We're just sitting at that level today and really looking to see whether we'll get support again this afternoon. It's just paused at that level right now. If we do get a supportive bounce, and these trend lines are working incredibly well for oil, we've got an overhead trend channel, a supportive channel. We look like we're due to get a breakout soon in either direction. We are testing the lower end of the support channel, but so far we're getting rejection off this zone again. If we do get further rejection and some buying here as we come into this afternoon, this may provide a good breakout trade. Otherwise, if we break the lows here, we may be heading back towards the June lows here, which would take us down to around the 61 US dollar per barrel level here. It'll be about a $2 move lower. So we'll continue to monitor that on Brent today. We'll also just look at light sweet crude oil. We're hovering around the weekly support here, so I just draw that on for you, just show you. We've got quite a key support zone, which we look like we may be getting a retest of just today as well. We do have the US oil rig count coming out this afternoon, which is likely to provide more volatility here for oil, could potentially provide some support as well. So oil not really doing too much just this morning, but this will likely pick up this afternoon, and we'll be looking to see whether we do hold on to this support zone this afternoon and whether we get potential rally back up towards resistance or whether we break down to the next key support, which is about another $2 move lower here. And then finally, we'll just move over and have a look at the grains. So following on from yesterday's USDA report, we did see large breakouts on corn, wheat, soybeans. You can see the extent to that breakout. We actually broke out on corn to 2-month highs. So it's been an impressive rally over the last couple of days. You can just see the follow through on this rally today as well. And also, we've seen a very similar situation with soybeans. So some lucrative breakouts on both of these markets, and the same actually just with wheat's continuing to break out today as well. So we'll continue to monitor that this afternoon and see how high we can get with this follow through today, following on from yesterday's USDA report. So there's certainly a lot for us to keep an eye on, some potentially very lucrative trades developing as we go into next week as well, particularly on the precious metals. So we are definitely anticipating some big moves. The big move which you really want to make sure that you can catch next week is going to be the non-farm payrolls. And the note on that, non-farm payrolls due to the bank holiday next Friday, due to Independence Day in America, we are very likely to get some good moves on the Thursday. Thursday's non-farm payroll announcement. So typically the non-farm payroll announcement falls on the first Friday of every single month. Next week it's going to fall on Thursday. And if you would like to trade that live with the Gold and Silver Club, we will be trading it live with all of our traders. You can find out about that very simply and join our live trading room at the following. So it's www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com for enrollment to be able to trade that live with us next week, next Thursday. Okay, so to join the Gold and Silver Club live online trading room, very simply, is www.jointhegoldandsilverclub.com. Enrollment is by application only. Once you complete that form, we'll get in touch with you ASAP. As well as that, you'll also get on the live trading room, live analysis, live trading ideas, live support as well. We have live trading rooms which run throughout the week. You'll be part of an international community of our traders, and very simply the form will just take you just less than a minute to fill out. The enrollment form again here, just at www.jointhegoldandsilverclub. Okay, so what I will do, let me just post that for those of you who'd like to find out more. I'll put that in the chat function for you too. Okay, perfect. And for those of you who would like to join us for next week's non-farm payroll announcement, we look forward to welcoming you to the Gold and Silver Club. So with that, guys, good luck for this afternoon's trading. Wish you all some good profits. We'll definitely catch you back here on the next weekly review. Any questions at all, do get in touch, and I'll just leave the contact details here for you on the screen there. Okay, take care, everyone. Have a great weekend. Cheers. Bye-bye.